Hello everybody, Wishbone8121 here, and welcome to another Injustice iOS video. In today's video we're going to be going over the best team damage team. That's right, there's no Lucy Bane here because he's terrible. He relies on inconsistent things like crit and stun chance on tag in, and he gets killed pretty consistently. So he's just not that good. Today we're gonna go over a team that is just simply better. In fact, in my next video after this, we're gonna go over a second team that is better at team damage than Lucy Bane as well. Let's get right into it. First of all, your tank character doesn't matter. We're gonna go over them last, though I will use Killer Frost in one of the ultimate battles today. This is all about Arkham Origins Deadshot. With Trick Shot, he deals 20% damage to the enemy team whenever he uses one of his guns, which is pretty much his entire special, besides the initial kick in Bullet Hell. Now, you want to gear him with the Master's Death card and Tantu Totem so that he can constantly jump in with 2 bars of power, and while the enemy is still stunned by the Master's Death card, you use S2. With the Fourth World Godly Mace, that brings him up to a 55% damage, team damage from his specials, and with the Master's Death card, that goes up to 70%. However, if you do kill someone, the opponent that tags in does not take that 50% damage from the Master's Death card. So that is something to keep in mind. But that's enough of Deadshot. He is a total beast. Mine does have crit and crit damage augments, but I do not have health or damage augments on him. Same thing with Lord Joker, and with Killer Frost, I don't have health or damage augments, but her crit chance and crit damage is mostly there. I'll use Martian Manhunter for the second ultimate battle. My Martian Manhunter, Blackest Night, is fully augmented. But that's enough for augments. Let's get into Lord Joker. His passive in regard to this particular team is that he also increases special damage by 20%. Super clutch, like I said, that brings up Arkham Origins Deadshot to 55% damage to the team from his Bullet Hell. Moreover, Lord Joker, I gear him with Astro Harness, Quake Engine, and Ibby Stick. It's just the best way to do it. His S1 gives a poison. It actually applies 2 stacks of the Ibby Stick, which is super good. It gives the Astro Harness also gives a dot, so that's 4 dots on his S1. Quake Engine causes those dots to re-trigger either on the same opponent, if it's a tank, like Batman Ninja Batman late game, who has like a million tank gears, and is really annoying to kill. This is one way to deal with him. Or it just re-triggers on the next enemy when they tag in. Obviously, Blackest Night, the Flash teams require that you use S2 with Joker, so you don't just give them tons of health back. Also increases, because this is a Joker character, the Quake Engine increases enemy tag cooldown, making it a more consistent fight. You know, people can't just tag out and crush you all the time.
The Joker.
Okay. Lastly, I'm pretty sure I mentioned this, but I prefer using S2 to using S1. Though if you don't have the Fourth World Godly Mace, the League of Assassins Adam Knights is definitely very strong still. You do deal 90% of your S1 damage, which becomes 105% of your S1 damage when you include the Master's Death card. Very strong, but his S1 only kills in the last hit, which is really annoying, and his S2 hits like an absolute truck. Steel deals just incredible amounts of team damage, and with the Tantu Totem, it means it's more likely for you to refund yourself 2 bars of power. So I think it is the better way to play it. Now lastly, getting into the third character, you basically want them to be built as a tank to use in case things go wrong, to deal with the AH, which this team is a little bit, I wouldn't say struggles with it, but you don't really have a strong counter to it. Since Joker is poised for poison damage and AO Deadshot is not a one-hit special character. So AH, this does have, it slows things down. So I would have your third person with tanking gear. This is my go-to tanking setup. Though other tanks can use other gears. If you're going to use Injustice iOS, Injustice 2 Superman, or Mortal Kombat Scorpion, you can of course use the Fourth World gears. All those are fine on him. Although actually, because the mace is with Deadshot, I would still go with LexCorp and Batman Ninja Helmet. That's just your basic setup. It helps deal with Batman Ninja Catwoman, and the Batman Ninja Helmet is the best tank gear in the game just by itself. So, of course, Arkham Knight Batman is a good pick. You can use Arkham Knight Batgirl, who can then save Arkham Origins once. If you do use her, I would recommend this two-piece gear set instead of the chest plate for her. If you use Blackest Night Martian Manhunter, you can, of course, switch out the LexCorp gear for one piece of attacking gear and Killer Croc Companion card. That works very well with his passive. You could use Shazam is kind of tanky. Reverse Flash doesn't really have high enough health, so I wouldn't recommend him. Red Sun Green Lantern you could use, though he's so good with the Red Sun team it'd be a waste. Batman you could use. Apocalypse Darkseid. Basically anyone with high health, you can just give tanking gear to him, and they will work just fine. Alright, let's get into some ultimate battles. Alright, to start with, our first ultimate battle, I actually have Killer Frost with Necron Scythe instead of Batman Ninja Helmet, which is one way to do it, but I actually recommend Batman Ninja Helmet over Necron Scythe. I'm going to start with something, I don't know if I mentioned it already, but because I'm using the Fourth World Mace instead of the Loa Daggers, or the Loa Knives, sorry. You need to do one basic combo before you bring in AO Deadshot, or you won't have 2 bars of power. That's only for the initial tag in. So I'm bringing in AO Deadshot, dealing some team damage while bringing Killer Frost low. She got the AH, of course, so that was really annoying. But that team still died fairly quickly. Alright, next game, we're going to do a basic combo. That way Deadshot has enough energy for his S2. I bring him in and just deal insane AoE DPS. Not quite enough to bring AH all the way down to the point where he tags in at less than 10% health. That would have been a little bit better, but good enough to get the job done. I'm going to tag in Joker, put on some dots on Aquaman, and Aquaman's basic attacks are just so fast. I can just finish this up with Lord Joker. Now, next fight is against the Blackest Night team, so I do want to find out who the AH is on. Of course, it's on their first character. So I'm actually going to just wait things out and wait for Hawkgirl to tag out before I bring in Deadshot. That way I get to use him to his fullest extent, deal tons of team damage that will deal with the AH. And who I'm really hoping for is Blackest Night the Flash. However, he is not the person that tags in. It is Blackest Night Batman. Thankfully, I was able to block that, so it didn't get really stupid. And his AoE Deadshot AoE Deadshot. Oh, that's funny. That should be his name. Anyway, he absolutely just destroys this team. Now, the Flash has 3 whole health bars, so I'm going to bring in Killer Frost to bring him down critically low. And I'm going to hit her once to activate that 3rd AH proc. And then bring in AoE Deadshot. That is a great nickname for the finish here. And man, I'm kind of just laughing because AoE Deadshot is such a great name. I think it stuck. Anyway, I'm going to start out with Deadshot, do just an absolute crapload of team damage. The Joker was basically geared to allow me to crush the enemy team here. And I'm just going to spam S2 and in order to bring her down to critical health. And now she does have, it looks like, AH, Soul Stealer, and the OP pill, which is a pretty strong combination. Deals with my tank quite well because of the block breaking. But you know, Joker, basically she didn't stand a chance against Joker. So that's that. Alright, starting out on the next match, I do a basic combo, which gets countered pretty darn hard, but things are okay, because AoE Deadshot is coming in for the damage. I'm going to use his S1 to get rid of that passive, and then use Injustice 2 Superman in order to absolutely destroy Batman Ninja on the bench. That way I don't have to deal with his really, really annoying passive. He does have AH, which is, again, very annoying. And I'll just finish that with the MDC. Alright, on to match 6. I'm going to do a basic combo, so AoE Deadshot can come in with 2 bars of power, uses S1 to start with. Hopefully he doesn't block. He doesn't, which is a good thing. Sometimes the computer can definitely block there, slowing down things. And his S2 is just hitting like very wimpy against this, you know, tank-geared Batman Ninja Batman when he's already down a character. So I'm just going to use dots in order to take him out. That's one good thing about Lord Joker, is he definitely can, you know, deal some damage. Now, that particular instance is why I recommend the Batman Ninja Helmet over Necron Scythe. Even though Necron Scythe is definitely a solid option for Killer Frost. You know, I try to do the gut check, but he's invincible to basic attacks, so I gotta take him down with a special. And we're on to match 7. Starting out, you've got Flashpoint Batman with the AH. And I'm just going to tag in AoE Deadshot and do some AoE damage. It's not the most effective because of the AH, but, you know, it'll still get the job done. And I'm going to bring in Lord Joker to get him, well, I was trying to get him down to proc his AH again. Didn't quite work out, and ended up just hitting Injustice 2 Superman's passive, and then he blocks through the MDC, which is very annoying. It doesn't really happen that often. But yeah, that definitely slowed down this match considerably because of some very clutch AI blocking here. I'm just going to use her special 2. It would have probably been better to just bring in AoE Deadshot to deal with that, but you know, it doesn't really matter that much. I can just bring him in now. And Batman Ninja Batman does not have full tanking gear, so I take him out. And that is the first ultimate battle that I'll be displaying in this video. That was with Killer Frost. Next up, we're going to use Blackest Night Martian Manhunter. Alright, so I do a basic combo so that AoE Deadshot can come in and absolutely crush it. He kills Metahuman the Flash in one hit because he's actually low health. Oh wow, so that special does incredible amounts of damage, even though Shazam, basically while his passive is working. That's good to know, that's cool. These are, of course, the glitched hacker, you know, medals, which is fine. I mean, technically, I've used glitches in the past, so, you know, it's no biggie. Which is why everyone on the Reddit kind of hates me. But anyway, we'll deal with his passive and move on to the next match. Alright, starting out, I'm going to do a basic combo, like always, so that I have just enough power for Deadshot to come in and absolutely destroy the enemy team. Of course, Flashpoint did not last quite long enough to really do the damage I wanted him to do, and Injustice 2 Superman blocked his special 2. Like I said, that does happen sometimes when you have to use S1 in order. Well, actually, you have to use a special during the MDC proc to get rid of his passive. But he's not able to block the second time, and his resurrection ends up helping. Now, there is a glitch here. Well, it's not really a glitch. It's a positional thing where if some enemies, when they tag in during the end of your special, you can't actually hit them with the rifle. Basically, the way that works is their hitbox is actually in front of where the bullets start. So, very interesting. I'm going to get rid of Injustice 2 Superman's passive. I'm going to chain my basic attacks to his S2. I'm actually not entirely certain if that is a genuine chain or if they can block or not. I don't use AO Deadshot quite enough to know that for sure, but definitely worked out that time. Maybe someone in the comments can tell me if AO Deadshot is one of your regulars, if that is a legitimate chain or not. I do have to warn you that on Reddit, a lot of the videos of so-called chains they have posted on their on their Reddit are not legitimate, like Doomsday and Batman to S1, etc. You just have to be careful because a lot of times they're not real. All right, so again, dealing with AH, it's a little bit slow, so I'm just going to bring in Blackest Night Martian Manhunter to get rid of that. Excellent. And did some team healing as well. And we'll finish this up with Deadshot. Alright, on to the next match. It's against the Flashpoint team. So I'm waiting out the AH and doing some basic combos. And we're going to bring in AO Deadshot to deal some team damage. Now, because he's not blocking, as you can see, it still does team damage even through the invulnerability. And then I'm just going to bring in Martian Manhunter afterwards. And then get... Actually, I'm not going to take him out. I probably should have used an S1 there to get the AH down low, but this will work out anyway. I'm going to get rid of the water shield there and then bring in AO Deadshot for some team damage. He does have the AH, so I'm just going to use my S1 to bring that up. And because it technically does 0 damage because of his shield, I still get refunded from the Tantu totem. And that's that. All right, to start out with this game, Gaslight Batman's kind of annoying to deal with. I can switch to Joker or just use Martian Manhunter to try to get him to proc. But he does block the last second there. So I'm going to bring in Lord Joker. And I'll let the AH tank that special, though he does manage to hit me with quite a few dots there. But I'm going to give Batman Ninja some dots and then use my S2. Unfortunately, he is blocking, so it doesn't deal nearly as much damage as I was hoping for. Otherwise, he definitely would have died there. In fact, I will kill him using Martian Manhunter's S1, which is nice. And then I'm up against Gaslight Batman again. His AH does proc because of some dots. And then I'm just going to tank some of his dots there, bring in Lord Joker to get him down to under 10% health. So I'm going to tank another S1 with Lord Joker, and the AH will cause those dots to fall off and actually eat an S3 from Superman. That's a beautiful thing. You'll love to see it. And continuing the match, I'm going to use my S1 to get rid of his passive, followed with an S2 that will bring Gaslight Batman down to critical health. I think he still has a proc. No, he does not have a proc, so I will just finish things out with Bullet Hell. And you can see there that his kick has infinite range, which most people don't know about. But it is a full screen range on the kick, or the initial hit of his S2. And let's go on to the next match. All right, again, it's Gaslight Batman. Very annoying. I don't mess around with Martian Manhunter and just bring in Lord Joker. I'm going to use an S1 on him, bringing him down to proc the AH at 50%. He will basically do the same thing to me, but I'll eat a special from Batman Ninja while I can. Bringing in AO Deadshot for an S2, which almost kills Batman Ninja, even though he has a lot of tank gears. And then I'm going to dot the crap out of him with Lord Joker. Brings him down to 1 HP, but he manages to tag out before I can get him. I do manage to proc his final shield, and now I'm going to finish him off with a special 2 from Martian Manhunter. And heal myself 20,000 while I'm at it. Followed by tanking this special 3 from Injustice 2 Superman, which I survive because of the Batman Ninja helmet. I'm going to use S1 to get rid of his passive and then finish things off with an S2, except he's right now invulnerable to special damage because his energy was too high, and it's too high again. That was pretty fast, so I'm just going to tag him out and then use the MDC to finish things off. Or maybe the special will do the trick. There we go. All right. Well, that's going to do it for today. I hope you enjoyed learning about the best Team Ultimate Team Damage combo. You guys have a nice day. All right. See ya.